It's quarterfinal time of the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. What we're going to do, we're going to recap what happened in the first round, and I'm going to give my predictions of what happens in the second round. So let's hit that intro and get into it.
Yeah, it's our time to shine. Yo, that's the kind of state of mind you gotta combine with hard work and time. You gotta climb to the top. Don't let yourself drop till your heart stops. Let this beat rock. Got a new clock and a new stock for this new rock. Just let your mind loose from the new stock. Drunk off the goose, thinking that I'm too pop. Getting caught with a few thoughts cause I'm too lost. Let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up.
And here is a quick look at how the brackets are shaking up so far on the men and women's side. So let's get it started with the Smackdown side of things. The first match we're looking at is going to be Carmelo Hayes versus Randy Orton. Carmelo Hayes got to the second round with a nice little roll-up victory over Baron Corbin. And what was overall a pretty solid match for the two. You know, nothing to write home about, but it definitely was not bad. Randy Orton gets to the second round by a clean victory over AJ Styles. In what was a very, very good match. Wouldn't expect nothing less from two legends like that. It being a WrestleMania 35 rematch and all. But with this one, I actually see Carmelo Hayes going over because I think the Bloodline's going to interfere and cost Randy the match to set up future storylines. So I do kind of see Carmelo Hayes moving forward on this. It'd be a nice little thing. And for the second part of the Smackdown side of things, we've got LA Knight, who got to the second round by beating Santos Escobar at a house show on Saturday night. I can't say much about it. I didn't see the match, but LA Knight won. That's what I thought was going to happen. Versus Tama Tonga, who beat Angelo Dawkins subbing in for a supposedly injured Bobby Lashley. I had Tama Tonga winning anyways, even if they just probably didn't have to do Bloodline interference with it. For the match itself, I actually see LA Knight going over by one of two ways. If Orton has the first match and the Bloodline costs him that, he'll probably give a little quid pro quo and interfere in that match. If not, or something could just happen and they can let LA Knight go over clean. I don't see that. There's going to be some shenanigans somewhere or another, but I do see LA Knight going on to the finals of the Smackdown side of things. And now we go to the women's side of the Smackdown tournament, where Nia Jax and Jade Cargill will meet off in the next round. Nia Jax got there through a clean match over Naomi. Very surprised on that. I figured there'd be some kind of cheating or something, but Nia went over clean over Naomi. And Jade cleanly beat Piper Niven with a very impressive performance. With this match, I went back and forth, but I do see Jade beating Nia, which will play probably into the next round of things, because maybe with that, Nia gets salty like she does and attacks and beats up Jade to make her soft for the next round. So if she does lose, there's a reason. Or just the fact that Jade had to face two of the monsters of the women's division back to back maybe takes her toll on her. But either way, I see Jade going over in this match to go on to the next round. And for our last match on the Smackdown guide of things, I've got a really interesting one with Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca Belair. The young up-and-comer Tiffany Stratton got to the second round by beating Mi Chin Mia Yim at a house show. And again, I wasn't there, couldn't see the match, couldn't give you anything about it. And Bianca Belair beat Candice LeRae. And in that match, it looks like she may have tweaked her knee a little bit. Whether it was real or kayfabe, don't know. But I'm thinking it's possibly kayfabe to push out the narrative of the next round one of two ways. Either she can't overcome the knee injury and Tiffany exploits it, or she has to get pulled from it and either gets replaced or Tiffany gets a bye into the next round. Either way, I see Tiffany going past Bianca in this round one way or another. The knee is somehow going to be a factor in it. So Tiffany going to face Jade in the next round. Now we're going to look at the Raw side of things. Now in the first match on the Raw side of things in the men's tournament, we have Gunther, who picked up a victory over Sheamus on Monday Night Raw. Solid match. Wouldn't expect anything less from those two. Professional pros right there, some of the best in the business. So solid match there. Going to face Kofi Kingston, who, to my surprise, got a win over Rey Mysterio at a house show Sunday night. Again, one of those matches, it was a house show, I couldn't see it, so I can't tell you what it was about. So, let's move on. But, in this one, I've got Gunther beating Kofi, even though the story seems to be Kofi wanting to get revenge on Gunther for taking out Woods, but I do see Gunther moving on to the finals of the Raw bracket. And for our second match on the Raw side of the men's bracket, we've got Ilya Dragonov versus Jey Uso. Ilya gets there by a very good, very entertaining match where he beat Ricochet clean. No doubt there, I figured that was going to happen. They weren't going to have Ilya lose his first match as an official member. And Jey Uso beating Finn Balor, who replaced Drew McIntyre from his elbow injury, clean. Either way, I seen Jey going over there. On this match, I see... And for the first match of the women's Raw bracket, we have Io Sky versus Shayna Baszler. Shayna getting to the next round by beating Maxine Dupree at a house show. Maxine subbing in for an injured Zelina Vega. So, I originally had Zelina going over Shayna, but with the substitute, I would have kind of figured Shayna got that. But she will be facing Io Sky, who got a win over Natalya in the first round. Overall, I really can't say much about the Shayna Maxine match. It was a live event. I wasn't there. Surprise. I don't live out there. I don't go to all events. And Io, Sky, and Natalya, very solid matchup. Two, like Sheamus and Gunther, two pros. You wouldn't expect nothing less than a solid match from the both of them. With this one, though, I do see Io Sky going over and going to the Raw side of the final side of things to face the winner of the next match. And for the last match on the Raw side of things, we've got Zoe Stark, who got to the second round by beating Ivy Nile in what was a decent match. You know, nothing, again, another one you didn't write home about. Honestly, I didn't even remember it. I had to look up and remember who she faced. Against Lyra Valkiria, who beat a substituting Dakota Kai for Asuka in what I would have expected, a very solid match by the two. Clean win by Lyra. I would have expected maybe at least some kind of damage control interference, but we didn't get that. Out of this match, though, I see Lyra going over. I'm thinking this is going to be a vehicle to get her farther on and make her more of a mainstay on Raw, because they've seen what she can do with Becky down in NXT. They've seen what she can do with Tiffany in NXT. Maybe that's the finals, Lyra and Tiffany. Run that back. Not giving it away just yet, but that could be a very big possibility. But end of the day, I see Lyra beating Zoe. No real reason for any kind of shenanigans in here. Lyra going to take Zoe clean.
Now it's game time. All the practice.
And here is what I think the male and female brackets are going to look like after the second round of the King and Queens of the Ring tournaments.
You gon' read me in the headlines. Always go up.
And there it is, a recap of the first round and my predictions of the second round of the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. Remember, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification buttons. Drop a comment down below. What did you think of the first round? Who do you think's moving on to the finals of their respective shows tournaments? Who do you think's going to win the entire thing? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Remember, follow us on Twitter/X at WrestlingNerdRA. And as always, we'll see you again. Please come back soon.
Watch out, cause I'm here now and I'm staying.